Welcome to Organized Knowledge. Today my lecture is on another important topic of US Constitution, which is salient features of US Constitution. So the first salient feature of US Constitution is that the United States Constitution is a written constitution. It has a single document. It is in codified form. It has a preamble, 7 articles and 26 amendments. Another important feature of US Constitution is bicameralism. The legislature structure is bicameral. It has 2 chambers. One is lower chamber, other is upper chamber. Lower chamber is House of Representatives. The upper chamber is Senate. Another important feature of US Constitution is that it is a rigid constitution. It cannot be amended by simple majority, and the way to amend the US Constitution is very complex and not simple. And there are 2 ways to amend the US Constitution. One way is to amend it by the 2/3 majority of the Congress. By Congress I mean both the houses and then 3/4 of the state legislature. And the other way is by 2/3 majority of state legislatures. Another important feature of the US Constitution is that Republicanism. The head of the state, which is president, is elected by the people, and it's not a heredity or inherited person, which is the case in the British Constitution. So Republicanism is an important feature of US Constitution. Federalism. This is another important feature of the US Constitution. The powers are divided between center and federating units. By federating units I mean the states. Originally USA was a federation of 13 states. Now it's a federation of 50 states. Another important feature of the US Constitution is the separation of powers. The powers are separated between the main branches of the government. That Article 1 vests all the legislative power in Congress. Article 2 vests all the executive power in President. And Article 3 vests all the judicial powers in Supreme Court. Another important feature of the US Constitution is that it is a briefest constitution in the world. In all over the world, it is briefest constitution. It has only 7 articles. Another important feature of the US Constitution is that the system of checks and balances. Executive branch has some checks over the legislature and judiciary, and the judiciary has some checks over the executive and legislature branch. Example of the checks and balances is the judicial review, which is the power of the judiciary to have a check on the executive and the legislative branch. Another important feature of the US Constitution is that Constitution is the supreme law of the land. No law can be made which is not consistent with the provisions of the Constitution. So if a law is made which is not compatible with the Constitution, will be declared as null and void. And last but not the least, another important feature, which is conventions. It is the political traditions which is followed by the executive, judiciary and legislature. It is unwritten part of the Constitution. Conventions have a great role in the development of the Constitution, and it is an important feature of the Constitution. The example of the convention is the presidential cabinet, the senatorial courtesy. Presidential cabinet is not enumerated in the Constitution, but it is by the convention that USA has a presidential cabinet. Thank you. Keep watching Organized Knowledge.